course, the first one we're going to talk about is the Deshaun Watson. His suspension drama, What's your opinion on his original suspension? The NFL's appeal. How long you think it would? How long would you have suspended him if you were the commissioner? What's your opinion on the deal that's been worked out recently? Fair, unfair? Let's chat about it. We'll start this off with Marcus.
Oh, you got to start with me.
All right, we'll start this off with Mark.
Yeah, start with
Mark. First of all, I think that the 11 games is close to being fair, or if not a year. To be honest with you, the really big problem that I have with this whole deal is that Houston gets some type of blame in this whole thing too, because with them setting this whole thing up, Houston should have be penalized some type of way for allowing him the access to do this. At least draft choices taken away or some sort or something like that. I think is a disadvantage on how they set it up now, that you have the facility now to be the one that gives him his massages. Nobody asked those employees if this is okay to do it, so it's kind of a little messed up situation now. But initially, the first initial ruling, I wasn't happy with. But now they did 11 games. I think it's fair. I think it's between 11 games or a whole year. So I think it's fair what they gave him and the hefty fine.
So if you were a commissioner, you would have did what they did, or would you went like a whole year suspension?
I would have did a year. I'll be honest with you, I would have did a year.
Herman, how you feel about it?
So I guess I don't know. My point of view may be a little controversial. I don't know. I'm going to go more along the lines of the whole NFL process, okay? Because I don't like the fact that they selected a judge. She had all the evidence, so she has way more evidence than we do, okay? She looked at both sides of the case, and she decides 6 games, no fine, whatever. Okay. So then the NFL comes back and goes, nah, we don't like that ruling. Let's go get us somebody who we think is going to probably be harder on them. And then and then that one becomes binding. So it's almost like a double jeopardy type situation, and the NFL knows that going to this other person, they're not going to reverse the 6 already. So they're already in a win-win because they know that they're going to get more tacked on most likely, or they're going to just get the 6. And part of that is the NFL trying to save face for the fans and for the Me Too movement. I mean, it just is what it is. They're trying to keep the public off their back about what this guy did or didn't do. Okay. When you have owners being arrested and getting off on technicalities for basically doing criminal activity, a crime was committed because he was brought up on the charges, if I'm not mistaken, when it comes to Robert
Go ahead,
Kraft.
say his name. Yeah, he can say his name.
Oh no, I said when it comes to Robert Kraft, yeah.
Okay.
So, and that was part of the Deshaun Watson thing, was that the judge brought that up about them not doing or doing anything to Robert Kraft. And he was found, he had criminal charges. Deshaun Watson stuff went in front of grand juries and was never indicted. In 2 different grand juries, never indicted. Okay, so it's about public opinion. Whether we don't know what he did, what he didn't do, and what really happened, because all these massage people, masseuses, they settled out of court for money. Okay. And we know why you settle out of court for money, because it is a whole lot easier to lose a civil court case than it is to lose a criminal court case. He would have lost all the civil court cases probably, because it's just word against word. So my thing is, this is just like, it's not a fair system for the players when the owners can get away with the stuff that they get away with, and then the players are held accountable for something that's basically word of mouth right now, because that's all this is he said, she said stuff. So now it's like anytime somebody can say a player did something, the NFL can act on it. and the reason that the NFL is acting on it, they claim, conduct detrimental to the league. It's all about saving face for the public because they don't want the public all on their up in their shit, and that's what it boils down to. It's all about money when it comes to the NFL. This whole thing was always about money. People trying to get money out of his pockets, and then the NFL trying to save face and make sure that they don't lose revenue. That's my opinion on it.
So, one more question, Herm. Do you think the games were now the penalized? You think that's fair?
Now, yeah. I mean, and I see why he settled for this. I see why he negotiated it. Yeah, but in my opinion,
if you were, what would you do?
In my opinion, the way that the system should work is whatever that first judge came out with. That's what the ruling should be. Now, they took away the power from the commissioner to punish people, but they gave him this power to say, well, if I don't like this decision, I'm just going to go try to find somebody else who'll give me a decision that's better.
Was this the same arbitrator? And I forget. They have so many cases. What was this the same arbitrator? Didn't a woman arbitrator? She was a lawyer. Didn't she handle the Ray Rice?
I don't remember.
Yeah, I don't remember.
Because there was another incident. It probably was the same one. There's another. I forget which case it was, but they went with that one. They trusted their judgment on that one. Why they didn't trust their judgment on this one?
That's my thing. Because it's all the public pressure. It's all the public pressure, and everybody has an opinion about it, but we don't know what truly happened. For me, it's the NFL system that's a problem with the whole way that they punish players. Because anybody could say anything about a player at this point, and if you was in the same room with them, you're guilty at this point with the NFL.
Yeah, I agree with Herman on a lot of what he said. I really don't like the way that the NFL operates. I mean, it's very simple to have a set of guidelines, a particular set of punishment for a particular crime. And you can have it written, and it's pretty much like this. If you do this, something detrimental, first offense, 3 games, second offense, 5 games. If it's very detrimental, if it's abusive, 6 games, whatever would you come up with. But you have it written down. You make it a rule, and the players already know, hey, if I get in trouble with this is probably what I'm going to have to deal with.
Like the drug policy used to be.
Like the drug policy. I'm kind of with Herman too. I'll be honest with you, I didn't really feel like he needed to be suspended. Although what he did is egregious and is,
allegedly.
whatever, allegedly. But at the same time, it just didn't feel like his crime was that atrocious to get 11 games or a whole year. I do think that these women were coherent in what they were doing. I don't think there was any secrets. I don't think that he went in there and all of a sudden he whips it out and said, hey, I want a happy ending or what have you. I think that they understood when they went there that they were going to do a specific service and they were going to get paid for it. That's how I feel about it. So the fact that he got the 6 games, I thought that was, to appease everybody, 6 games. Okay, that's decent. When they went back again, and like Herman said, and had this other guy come up and he comes up more harsher, Goodell could have done this. Goodell chose to give it to somebody, but it is actually in Goodell's power to still make punishments on the players. He decided to pass this over to this gentleman just to try to hide or save face, but that guy was basically just a puppet for Goodell. Goodell told him what he wanted. That's what he came up with, and this is where we are right now. Goodell wanted money, and he wanted a longer suspension. They kept saying that the NFL was going for a year, and then I guess they were mad too at the Browns for setting up his contract to where it doesn't really hurt him to lose this year.
Yeah.
But I think they're just making it a scapegoat out of him just because they're mad. I don't think that this was actually a fair punishment for the crime that he committed. Marcus.
Allegedly.
Well, I mean,
you can't even say it was a crime because he wasn't brought up on any charges.
Yeah, he wasn't. I guess his conduct being detrimental.
Yeah.
So Herman pretty much covered everything that I was going to say. I agree 100% with Herman said. So I'm going to look at it from a different point of view. And as everybody knows, I was a huge Deshaun Watson fan and still pretty much am. But his judgment on this, whether he's guilty or not, horrendous judgment. I just understand why you needed 66 different masseuses in a 2-year period.
It wasn't the masseuses, Mark. He was getting favors. He were different, beautiful women. Is basically what he was doing. He was going on Instagram, finding masseuses on Instagram. He was being young. I mean, but honest with you, it's not like any different than any basketball player, any rock star that gets any girl out the thing and brings them in. The only difference was he decided on masseuses, and I guess there was some type of payment involved.
Well, okay, it's still just a thing. You're basically right. Other stars, other athletes do this probably do stuff like this all the time, but then they'll turn around and have 23 different people bring up charges against them.
But again, y'all remember this all started after Deshaun wanted to leave Houston.
Mm-hmm.
That's when all this blew
up. And the lawyer for the people accusing him had some ties to the team.
Right. How long had this been going on? How many years had this been going on? You didn't hear a peep. As soon as Deshaun decides he don't want to be in Houston no more, all of a sudden, all this blows up.
I'm still gonna have to question his judgment. He's gonna have to shoulder a lot of this blame, guilty or not, allegedly or not.
You put yourself in
he did.
He's gonna have to shoulder really poor judgment to put yourself. You know you're a target. You know you're an athlete. You got all this money. You're a star. You're probably the number one athlete in Houston around that time. I can't be certain. I don't know, maybe some of the basketball stars were maybe more popular, but he's definitely up there. You have to carry yourself a certain way, and I mean, why not? If you want to do that, why not just go to the club? Go to the club, pop some bottles, bring the women into the VIP, and do it that way.
Actually, that's maybe even worse, though. In all honesty,
I mean, I'm about to put most of his blame on him. His judgment was horrible, as far as I'm concerned. Whether he did or not, whether he's guilty or not, most of the blame goes to him. But as far as the NFL thing, I'm really 100% right. 6 games to me, 6 games was a little bit excessive. I feel like he didn't actually 2 grand juries didn't find anything to indict him on. I don't think he should have been. I don't think he should have been punished at all. But the 6 games, okay, I get that one to you. But 11 games, $5 million. It's all the NFL and Roger Goodell. They just trying to save face.
Yeah, they're going to donate the money to charity.
Yeah, they're just trying. They're just trying to save face. And I don't know if you guys seen that sign that him and that guy and his son had at the Cleveland.
Yeah, I saw that.
That doesn't help matters at all.
Yeah, that doesn't.
Like, who are you helping?
Yeah.
Is he not playing for your team now?
What are you teaching your kid, man? Go ahead with that, man.
Is he not playing for your team now? You think that helps him?
Yeah, that was bad.
I can understand if the opposite team did something like that. But why, when that's your team, that's your new quarterback?
Your fan. That's your fan.
Yeah, how do you think that helps your quarterback when you do something like that?
So, Marcus, real quick, just a quick scenario. Okay, you're 20, 24, 25, unlimited amounts of money, unlimited amounts of fame.
It's not unlimited amounts of money. That's how you go broke. They together.
Listen. He has money. He has fame. He's doing something. He gets the backing of his team. The team gave him non-disclosure agreements for these people to sign. They were providing him with places to do it. The place that pays you is helping you.
Like Mark said, Houston didn't get any punishment. Who got the punishment?
No, but my thing is that you're saying, Deshaun should have known better, this, that, and that. He's 23, 24, 25 years old with the permission of the team to do this.
Okay, regardless, he always came. I always had the impression that he was one of the, one of the good ones. He has common sense. I don't know what his background was family, but it seemed like he came from maybe a good family background. He would know. He would know better. you said which people? I mean, not the two different sports, but you've never heard anything like this about LeBron, ever.
Nah.
And you think LeBron ain't got more money than Deshaun and ain't more famous than Deshaun Watson? You just because you got the money, just because you're young, and remember LeBron came straight from out of high school.
But don't pick LeBron. Pick any other NBA player. I bet you find some dirt in there.
I mean,
LeBron is an exception. I mean, so far, but there are a lot of NBA players that got caught. Even Shaq, Shaq, right? Shaq got caught. Even Kobe, may he rest in peace. Kobe got caught up.
Kobe got caught. Yeah,
that is
most NBA players got stashes of females in different cities everywhere they play.
I mean, that's most athletes. Period.
Right.
But
the difference again, but
the difference is how you carry yourself and how you keep it.
But I'm giving you the scenario, Marcus. Yes, go ahead. I'm the owner of the team. Go ahead. It's fine. Do what you do. It's cool.
Honestly,
and there was no drama.
The masseuse thing was probably a better scenario than what you actually saying, Marcus, because
it's better than going in a club.
These clubs and then these women all around these, all you need is one to say he forced me.
Yeah.
Okay, but it was 23.
But
it
see,
was 23 that said it.
Again, it's none of them claimed rape though, did they?
No.
None of them claimed rape. You notice that, right? So the situations you're talking about, dude, that's what players get into.
But let's go back to let's go back to LeBron. And this is why I'm saying is how you carry yourself, how smart you are. Let's go back to LeBron's situation. We never heard any dirt on LeBron. Does anybody in this panel really believe LeBron and don't have no dirt out there?
He may not. He's been with his wife since high school.
All right, come on now.
So
he probably got something. But regardless, if you do it,
there are a couple of rumors out there, but they haven't,
But they've never been able to improve though.
I get what you're saying though, Marcus. You make decisions that are going to affect your own life.
One out of many.
Tim Duncan, the Parker dude used to play for San Antonio too. There's a lot of dudes who don't.
Yeah, I can name way more that did than don't. You might can name a handful. I can name Jordan. I can name hundreds.
Jordan, Patrick Ewing.
Jordan got caught. Jordan got caught cheating. Jordan cheated and gambled. What are you talking about?
He got gambling illegal.
Gambling. He had debts to people that was going to take his kneecaps. That's why his father got killed.
That's rumor.
Allegedly.
All I'm saying is I expected a lot more from Deshaun than this nonsense.
But see, we need to stop expecting that from a 20-something-year-old.
That's what I'm saying, Marcus. Would you have expected more of yourself?
I wasn't that mature at 20-something.
So why do you expect him to be?
Hey, Marcus, you just proved Brian's point right there.
Yeah,
everybody wasn't me. Everybody wasn't me.
Exactly, and everybody's not LeBron.
But look, he's just like we were at that age, but he has millions of dollars and we didn't. So think about your maturity level at his age.
But like I said, I was always under the impression he was one of the smart ones. That's why I'm very disappointed. I was like, he's one of the smart ones. He's one of the good ones. He's not going to be in this dumb stuff.
Well, he wasn't out in the club, doing.
I mean, for real, like you said, Herman, he had a system.
Yeah, he had a system in place. Exactly.
He went on Instagram. He inboxed you. You came in. You read the little disclosure. You knew what was up. So you could have said no then and not massage. Or go and massage and it be what it is. The only reason his system didn't work is because he said he wanted to leave.
Yep, and then Houston said, "Okay, we got something for you then."
Yeah, we got this dirt on you now. And like Mark said, Houston should have got some type of punishment on this.
Didn't they get? I thought Houston got fined.
Houston ain't got nothing done to him.
I mean, I feel like Houston already got punishment. They're gonna be sorry for a long time now. So that's it. They will be laughing at AFC South for a long time.
Oh yeah, that's true.
All right. We went deep in it out. Let's get on the next